Jay is in the building. Let's talk. Let's talk facts. Let's talk about the fact that you could be, do, and have anything you desire. Anything you desire. Your only limit in life is your own imagination. If you could think it, you could do it. Now, if you can't think it, guess what? You can't do it. If you could think it, if you could put your mind on it, if you could focus on it, if you could just start to visualize it and conceptualize it in your mind, you can do it. And if you could do that to the point of feeling it, you could focus on it to the point where it starts to change how you feel. If you could focus on it to the point where it starts to change the ideas you entertain, you'll start to do it on accident. When you think about things that make you angry, you don't got to try to get angry. You don't use willpower to get angry. You just think about things that make you angry. You don't use willpower to get sad. You just think about things that make you sad. You don't use willpower to get confident. You think about things that make you confident. You don't use willpower to get inspired. You think about things that inspire you. And it's so simple, but so many people miss it. You don't got to control your behavior. You got to control your focus. Your body is programmed to respond to what you focus on. What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the not having of what you want, or are you focusing on the having of what you want? When you focus on the not having of what you want, you sit in energy that aligns with not having what you want. Therefore, you get ideas that maintain you not having what you want. You meet other people who sit in that same energy, and y'all talk about how it doesn't work out and things never line up for y'all, but that's the frequency that y'all are both attuned to. Then people with the solutions and with the answers, they sit in a different frequency, so they don't want to hang out with you. And it's not them being rude. That's the law of attraction at its finest. Like energy attracts that unto itself. That makes sense. So if somebody is on a frequency of abundance and you're on a frequency of lack, you going, well, why won't they just help me? They got it. They can. Universal law said they can't. And even if they do what you think is helping you by giving it to you, if you still remain in that frequency of not having, you'll just squander it. Your reality is going to align to the frequency you are tuned to. You can win the lottery. If you're on a frequency of not having, just get it. Reality always has this time delay, but it will catch up. You don't have the baby the same day you get pregnant. You don't get the tree the same day you plant the seed. But trust me, the baby will come, the tree will come, the success will come, the abundance will come, the fear will come, the anxiety will come. You're not gonna get anxiety the instant you land on an anxious filled thought. But sit with that thought. Keep on consciousness into that thought, and that thought will spread into your body. Where the mind goes, the body follows. So if you want to be successful, if you want to have something, if you want to do something, if you want to be something, you got to start holding it in your mind. You can't hold it until you can hold it in your mind. When you start holding it in your mind confidently, when you start holding it in your mind on accident, that's when it becomes your personality. That's when it becomes your normal. That's when it becomes your day to day. That's when you're not using willpower to do it. That's just who you are. What do you want? Think about that. Put some serious thought into that. What do I want? Not what people are marketing me, not what people are trying to make me want, not the last ad that I saw. And you gotta understand, you don't gotta go out and manifest Ray-Bans, the Meta glasses. You don't gotta go out and manifest that stuff. If you figure out what you really want, what do I want to do for a living? What do I want to do to add value to the world? How do I want to show up there? You'll accidentally make enough money to go buy the Meta glasses and the bands and drive the car you want to drive and live where you want to live. I'm not saying you can't manifest that stuff, but when you just manifest your purpose, when it's your goal, I want to be who God created me to be. I want to show up in any one confident, shoulders back, chest out, chin up, thinking clear, positive thoughts. I don't want to work. I want to play for a living. I want to get paid to do things that I would do for absolutely free. If you manifest that, you can have all the material stuff that you want. Manifest your purpose. And stop focusing on manifesting things and start focusing on manifesting feelings. And you'll automatically get the things that fall within those feelings. I like it. Yeah, that's right. But what y'all got going on, man? I'm on the way to the office, and Texas traffic gives me a lot of time. So I said instead of just being in traffic waiting, I'm gonna start getting in traffic and I'm gonna start going live. Every time I'm on the way to the office, I'm going live. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, you should because I go to my office most days. Every once in a while, I have a all virtual day, so I just work from home on those days. But I go to the office every day around this time, and we're gonna start making this our live time. If you don't know me, I'm Coach Jay. I'm a clinically trained hypnotherapist. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, athletes, executives. We say we coach bosses. And my definition of a boss is not necessarily somebody who's in charge of a company or a group of people. I work with a lot of those people, but when I say a boss, I'm talking about people who are taking full control of their life. They're not blaming the government. They're not blaming mommy and daddy. They're not blaming the weather. They say, "No, I want this result, and I'm getting this result. I don't care what the state of the economy is. I don't care about the tariffs. I'm getting that result." And they use this to do it. I'm a firm believer that every problem is a thinking problem. Every problem is a thinking problem. If you can think it, you can do it. Now, if you can't think it, guess what? You can't do it. But if you can think it, if you can put your attention on it, if you can put your mind on it, you can do it. Okay? Now, I always tell my clients, if you can think it, you can do it. But if you can feel it, you'll do it on accident. When you feel angry, you don't got to try to do angry. You accidentally do angry when you feel angry. When you feel excited, you don't got to try to do excited. You'll accidentally do excited when you feel excited, right? It's the same thing in the opposite end, though. When you feel confident, you don't got to try to push your shoulders back, put your chest out, and put your chin up. You accidentally have the body language of a confident person when you feel confident. When you feel successful, you accidentally come up with some real successful ideas. You accidentally start networking with some real successful. We got to stop waiting on the result to justify the feeling and realize that the feeling is what creates the result. I work with a lot of athletes. I always tell my athletes, you don't get a trophy and then become a champion. What happens is you become a champion. When you become a champion, you're going to accidentally start holding yourself to a higher standard. When you become a champion, you're going to accidentally start going to bed at a decent time. You're going to accidentally start eating a certain way. You're going to accidentally start showing up to practice early and leaving practice late. You're going to accidentally start showing up on your team as a leader. If you just keep being a champion, guess what champions do? They collect trophies. But if you're waiting on the trophy to say, okay, now I'm a champion, you'll never get a trophy. Become a champion now and wait on reality to catch up. When we get in my office, I got degrees and certifications and all these different stuff. But if my office burned down and I lose the degrees and the certifications, that doesn't mean that I'm no longer certified. The paper just gone. The paper doesn't certify me. The paper represents that I am certified. The certification is in me. I'm certified. Paper isn't certified. I'm certified. The paper is a representation of what has already happened here. It's the same way with money. It's the same way with a trophy. The trophy doesn't make me a champion. The trophy represents that I am champion. The money doesn't make me rich. The money represents that I am rich. Don't wait on money to decide that you're rich. You're rich right now. And if you sit in that knowing, guess what? The money gotta show up. Stop waiting on things. You have everything that you want already. You got a mind that's capable of cooking up ideas. You got a mouth that allows you to network and talk to people. You got a phone. If you can watch me on this live, that means you can talk to people damn near anywhere in the world from this device that you got with you all the time. You already got everything you need to be wildly successful. Your problem is you thinking that you don't got it. You thinking that you waiting on a new MacBook, or you thinking that you waiting on a specific degree, or you thinking that you waiting on a guru to meet you in Target and say, "Follow me, my child. I'll show." You got everything you need already in here. If you can think it, you can do it. And if you waiting on anything, you barking up the wrong tree. You're barking up the wrong tree. Your only limit is your own imagination. So my question to you is, can you imagine yourself as the man that you want to be? Can you imagine yourself as the woman you want to be? Start imagining that right now, and don't you ever let that image go. Sit in that imagination and don't worry about what they're saying about the economy. Sit in that imagination and don't worry about what they're saying on the news and what you're seeing on your timelines on these. You got to sit in that imagination. As hypnotists, we got this rule called strongest reality wins. Strongest reality wins. Jay, how do you sit down with somebody for 2 hours who smokes 30 cigarettes a day and turn them into a non-smoker? Strongest reality wins. My reality is that you're gonna walk out of that door and never think about a cigarette again. That's my reality. And I'm gonna make that reality so strong. I'm gonna make that reality so dominant. I'm gonna make that reality so tactile. You're gonna be able to taste that reality. You're gonna be able to see that reality. You're gonna be able to hear that reality. Now that you're a non-smoker, what you doing with all this extra money that you save? Now that you're done sucking cancer out of a straw 30 times a freaking day, how excited are you to be healthy? What is your wife saying now that you don't smoke anymore? How do your kids feel about you being a nurse? I'm gonna make this new reality so strong that the neurology go, okay. The body responds to what you focus on. When you watch a sad movie, you don't gotta try to feel sad. You watch a funny movie, you don't gotta try to laugh. Just watch the movie. Now, if you're watching a sad story about the eggs cost too much and the gas costs too much and the government is ruining everything, if that's the movie that you watch, you don't got to try to feel overwhelmed. You don't got to try to feel anxious. You don't got to try to feel broke. You don't got to try to feel poor. That's the movie that you watch. But you got to understand, you are the one that controls the dial. If you watching TV, if you go on Netflix and you turn on something and you don't like the storyline, what you gonna do? Watch it and keep complaining about the storyline, or are you gonna go watch something else? Look around. Look around. If you don't like what you see, go watch something else. Well, Jay, I'm stuck in my reality. Guess what? When you pray, what do? Close your eyes. When you meditate, what do? Close your eyes. If you come to me to get hypnotized, guess what I'm gonna say? Hey, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Stop looking at it. Stop giving your energy. Stop giving your consciousness. Stop giving your attention to stuff that you don't like. What's going on? Start focusing on what you want. If you just start focusing on what you want, you'll accidentally come up with some really good ideas. And the thing about really good ideas is really good ideas tend to bring the energy necessary with them. Really good ideas tend to bring the inspiration with them. You don't got to build the whole thing right here, right now, today. You got to figure out what you want and start putting your attention on it. I used to be in the military. I hated being in the military. Couldn't stand it. Couldn't live where I wanted to live. Couldn't grow my beard. Couldn't wear my nose ring. Couldn't wear my earrings. Couldn't grow my hair. Couldn't do what I wanted to do. I've gone against the grain my whole life. Why did I think it would be a good idea to go to the military? I don't know. Well, probably because I was going against the grain. Nobody else in my family was doing it, so I went against the grain. But I hated being in the military. When I was in the military, what I would do was find other people in the military who hated being in the military. And we would sit down and talk about how much we hated being in the military. But as we had those conversations, we kept going on TDYs, we kept going on deployments, we kept being in the military. My whole life changed when I started saying, well, what would I rather have? What up, man? I want to grow my hair. I want to wear my nose ring. I want to grow my beard. I want to wear my earrings. I don't want to work. I want to play for a living. I want to get paid to do things that I would do for absolutely free. I love hypnosis. I love psychology. I love NLP. I want to get paid to coach people. I want to get paid to help people quit smoking, lose weight, quit biting their nails. I want to teach people how to walk in the room with unshakable confidence. I want to be a speaker. I want to get paid to talk about things that I would do for absolutely free. I want to go be on podcasts. I want to teach people how to use their minds to its fullest extent. Now, as I started talking about that, as I started focusing on that, I accidentally started reading different books. What's going on, y'all? As I started putting my attention on that, as I started focusing on that, I accidentally started listening to different podcasts. As I started focusing on what I wanted, as I started talking about what I wanted, I accidentally started finding other people who wanted similar things and who wanted to talk about similar things. Now, as I started having other friends who wanted to do these things, I accidentally stopped hanging out with a lot of the old friends. Accidentally stopped going to a lot of the old places and found totally new. I wasn't using willpower to like, all right, I got to stop going out and I got to lock down and focus on my business. I wasn't using willpower. It just became the dominant frequency in my life. It just had majority of my attention. Where your attention goes, your body follows. So when you focusing on what you want, you putting your attention on what you want, your energy is going into what you want, and you only get ideas that maintain what you want. But when you focus on what you don't want, when you focus on not having, you continue to get ideas that keep you in a state of not having. Your ideas have to pass through the filter of your frequency. Somebody can hand you a really good idea, but if you're in a frequency of not having, that really good idea has to pass through the filter of not having. So what was a brilliant idea just became worthless because it had to pass through your filter of not having. Take that filter off. Look at it like this. If you got on blue sunglasses, everything you look at is going to have a blue tint to it. It don't matter if it's red. It don't matter if it's purple. It don't matter if it's going to have a tint of blue if you got on blue sunglasses. If you got on poverty sunglasses, if you got on not good enough sunglasses, if you got on things never work out for me sunglasses, everything you look at is going to have a tint of not good enough. It'll never work. Things never work out for me. But by that same token, if you got on abundant sunglasses, if you got on prosperity sunglasses, if you got on everything I touch turns to gold sunglasses, everything you look at is gonna be abundant. Every people gonna hand you problems and you can't see nothing but a solution. You're gonna develop this superpower where you see oak trees where other people see acorns. I always give my clients acorns. Every time I see a nice acorn outside, I pick it up. I keep acorns in the office because I give them to my clients. Every time you doubt yourself, every time you start to doubt yourself, I want you to pick up that down acorn. I want you to remember there's an oak tree inside of that acorn. You're holding an oak tree in between your two fingers. If God can put an oak tree inside of this acorn, imagine what God can put inside of your big head ass. If God can put a oak tree inside of this, you don't think God can put a business inside of you? You don't think God can fit a book inside of you? Somebody down here say, "Oh, check out my music." You don't think God can put a hit song inside of you? You don't think God put some good ideas in you? You don't think God put nothing special inside of you? But He chose to put an entire oak tree inside of this acorn and knock it off. If you can think it, you can do it. Now, like I keep saying, if you can't think it, you can't do it. The good news is you can think anything that you want to think. Are you disciplined enough? Are you willing enough to start making time to think about it? Are you willing to give up some of that YouTube time? Are you willing to give up some of that TikTok time? Are you willing to give up some of that Netflix time to focus on what you want? If you just start focusing on what you want, you will accidentally start moving in that direction. I'm gonna say it again. If you just start focusing, well, say I don't got the relationships, I don't got the money. You don't understand why. I don't need to understand where you grew up. You don't need the money right now. But I promise you, if you start focusing on what you want, you'll get closer to having that money. Every thought will bring you closer to having it. And then you might even find a situation where you don't even need the money that you thought you need. I remember when I first was starting to think about what I want to be a clinically trained hypnotherapist. Well, obviously I had to go to school, but I was focused on what I want. And as I was focused on what I want, I accidentally discovered, wait, the VA will pay for this. The military will pay for this. Oh, wait, I already got a lot of oh, wait, I'm already starting. I was started before I even knew I was starting. I already got this. I already got this. I already got this. I need this, this, and this, and the military will pay for it. Don't get locked in on what you don't got. Stop focusing on what you don't got. The Bible say that the rich will get richer and the poor will lose the little that they have. The Bible says that the rich will get richer. The poor will lose the little that they have. If you want to get rich, you better be rich. Stop waiting on something out there to dictate what goes on in here. God gave men dominion over the world. He didn't give world dominion over the man. Stop letting the world dictate how you feel. You decide how you feel. Get in the habit of telling your thoughts what to think, telling your feelings what to feel. Stop giving your attention to stuff that doesn't align with where you're going. Stop reading comments that don't align with where you're going. Stop going back and forth with people that don't align with where you're going. Stop trying to convince people that don't align with where you're going. It's a full-time job convincing you. Stop trying to convince people. Stop trying to get people to agree with you. It's 8 billion people in the world. Okay? Figure out what you want and start thinking about it. Figure out what you want and spend the rest of your life thinking about it. And I promise you, you will start to move towards it on accident. I promise you. When I work with my clients, it's never about controlling their behavior. It's never about making them stop doing things and making them start doing things. I don't care about their behavior. I care about their thinking. But I know if I change their thinking, they'll accidentally change their behavior. If they just change their thinking, their behavior ain't got no choice but to follow their thinking. Like if somebody come to me and say, "Hey, Coach Jay, I really want to quit smoking," I don't got to make them quit smoking. I just got to make them think different about cigarettes. Of course, you reach for cigarettes when you think it's this thing that helps you relax. Of course, you reach for cigarettes when you think it's the only way you can step outside and take a break. But if I get you thinking about cigarettes as, "Hey, you sucking cancer out of a straw, man. How that cancer taste?" Every time you that cigarette, you just stole 9 seconds away from your daughter. She gets to spend with you. You digging your own work. If I change the way you feel about the cigarette, you'll accidentally chill out on the cigarettes. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Your only limit in life is your own imagination. Your only limit in life is your own imagination. If you can think it, you can do it. Can't think it, can't do it. But you gotta understand that everything around you started out as a thought. This car that I'm driving was an idea before it was a car. This freeway that I'm on was an idea before it was a freeway. This shirt that I'm wearing was an idea before it was a shirt. The words coming out of my mouth were ideas before they were words coming out of my mouth. Look around. Everything you see was an idea first. Your ideas matter. Start sitting with your ideas. Start entertaining your ideas. The right ideas. Because you got to be entertaining some ideas, but start entertaining the ideas that put you closer to where you want to be. Start entertaining the ideas that energize you. Start entertaining the ideas that inspire you. And I'm telling you, man, you're going to accidentally come up with some really cool stuff. You're going to accidentally get inspired. You're going to accidentally solve problems. Your only limit in life is your own imagination. Your only limit in life is your own imagination. If you can think it, you can do it. Can't think it, can't do it. But if you can think it, if you can put your mind on it, if you can put your attention on it, it's done. It's done. That's it, man. That's it. We done. We complete. Nothing else needs to be said. If you let that sink in, you let that get into every cell and every fiber of your body, you got the key. Start thinking about what you want. Start putting your attention on what you want. Focus on it. I'm about to log off. I love y'all. Ain't nothing y'all can do about it. Yo, if you in Dallas, Texas, or you want to come to Dallas, Texas, December 27th, I got an in-person entrepreneur event that we're doing. I'm only allowing 10 people in the room. Those 10 people get to work with me all day, and it's gonna be powerful. Anxiety, gone. Imposter syndrome, gone. I'm afraid to charge what I'm worth, gone. Overthinking, gone. My marketing sucks, gone. I can't close sales, gone. There's gonna be a lot of hypnosis going on in that room. There's gonna be a lot of inspiration. There's gonna be a lot of rewiring going on in that room, and the people in that room get to work with me for the rest of the year. It's gonna be lit. So if you're interested in that, click the link. Go on my YouTube page. You can find it somewhere. It's on there. But yeah, man, I love y'all. Ain't nothing y'all can do about it. I'm finna log off. I'm almost at the office.